it going now. Crowd loving it. It's a ball, fly ball. Home run!
3, 2, 1. All right, Ryan, we're doing a basketball podcast. We're going to range a whole bunch of things that start off the NCAA. Your bracket was okay until the very end. Who did you have winning the whole thing at the end?
Gonzaga, I believe.
And Gonzaga sort of got upset pretty early on. Did you end up getting a chance to watch the final game?
No.
Even though you're at work?
Correct.
Didn't watch the second of it?
No.
Let me tell you, I watched a lot of that game. It was probably one of the best final games I've ever seen, to be honest.
Well,
back and forth, Michigan. You're a Michigan fan in terms of like the overall Michigan fan.
Yeah. No, I didn't catch any of it. There was a couple other events on I was watching that night, including Twilight. I don't know.
Okay, you're just gay. Anyways, it did turn out to be a great game. I did have Louisville winning one of my brackets, and therefore I won one of my pools. I think I had 92%, which is not anything to go on about. But the other one, I did have Michigan winning it, just for fun. I had Michigan winning it. It was crazy that they're even in the final. But I think a couple of those kids are going to go on and have good careers in the NBA. Not all of them, and none of them were necessarily superstars, but overall, pretty good tournament, I would say.
Well, that was one of the things, real quickly, that on Pardon the Interruption, the day after, they said there was a chance that Michigan might lose 4 of their 5 starters. But
especially after what happened, right? In terms of how they got to the NCAA final 4, and no one was anticipating that, and they're a young and up and coming team. I mean, I think Trey Burke looks really good as a point guard. Not superstar potential, but good overall potential, I think.
Well, and that's good for the program and bad for the program at the same time, right? I mean, it means a major rebuild even if there's 2 of their 5 starters, let alone 4. I mean, they seem to doubt that all 4 would actually go. They didn't mention Stauskas at all. I think you and I have talked about that he's not necessarily at all.
Well, I mean, I think Stauskas could end up getting there eventually. I mean, every team needs a three-point specialist or shooter on their team. I mean, look at for instance, our home team, the Raptors, could absolutely use a guy who's a threat from outside, and Stock's size is pretty good too, around 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah.
Furthermore, going into next year, very briefly, I always take a look at what's going on for the next year, and I'd be remiss not to say that our guy that we cover heavily on our website, Andrew Wiggins, has yet to determine where he's going to go. But saying that, Kentucky looks like they have everybody under the sun signed in the top 11. I got sort of the ESPN 100 list up there, and you remember the Fab Five, Ryan? If way back in the 90s when you had all the top guys. If you take a look right there, without even have to say it, how many Kentucky guys did they have in the top 11?
5.
And Wiggins is possibly going there as well.
Well, this is one of the things that I heard was that he may not go there because of that fact. The fact they've got 5 guys in the top 11, that he may choose to go elsewhere. His parents both went to Florida State or whatever, right?
Yeah.
There's talk
and his best friend's going there too. So
yeah, and there's a couple other schools too that I think I remember hearing on the radio that have a couple of players that haven't committed or haven't decided whether they're going to go to the draft yet or not. And he was sort of half waiting to see if a couple of those guards. Forwards. Yeah, small forwards go to the draft or not. If they did choose to go, he may choose one of those 2 schools. The schools. But
anyways, the 4 schools he has to decide from at this point, and it have to be soon. Everyone else is committed in the top 100, so it will be soon when he makes a decision. Florida State, who we talked about, Kentucky, who we just discussed, has an unbelievable recruiting class. Kansas is in the picture, and so is UNC. The Tar Heels also have the possibility of getting in there. So we're going to see who he picks probably very shortly, and it'll be a big brouhaha. But I think wherever he goes, I think he'll be fine. I mean, he's going to really be a legitimate superstar player. Yeah, I think he's smart not to go to Kentucky. He may not get the ball as much as he would get maybe at Florida State.
Absolutely, especially when he may be a 1 year and done. He may commit to he may go in the draft after next year, right? So why go to a place in Kentucky where, as you said, he may not be able to showcase himself well enough to get drafted very high?
Right, and the only thing I will say is for him, going to Kentucky, you might have a chance at a championship. So if you're looking for a one and done, you're looking for a championship, you're not necessarily worrying about your draft stock because that'll take care of itself. Maybe Kentucky's the way you go because you're looking for the championship.
Yep.
Moving on to the NBA very quickly, the Raptors, who we normally do a week-to-week podcast on, have just sort of tanked. So they don't have a first-round draft pick this year, traded away in the Kyle Lowry deal that's then now been traded away to Oklahoma City. So Oklahoma City owns that draft pick this season, unless somehow the Raptors end up in the top 3 in the lottery draft. So then if that happens, then the Raptors keep their pick.
On their pick anyway, if the league ended today, they still wouldn't have a great pick. They'd be just outside the top 10, I believe. So
so neither here nor there. Miami won the night without their big 3. I don't even know how they're doing this. I guess it's just a confidence thing. But in terms of that, because they won that, they now have the number 1 seed overall all the way through the playoffs.
Yeah,
so
that's amazing.
As it stands right now, we got Miami, Milwaukee. Who do you like in the first round?
Miami.
Okay, I thought you might have done Milwaukee, but I guess you'll go with Miami. I'll pick Miami as well then. No problem. If it stands right now, and it looks like it's going to, we have New York, Boston. Who do you like there?
Knicks.
That's going to be a great series. I'll tell you, that's a great series. If everyone's back healthy, it's going to be a give or take series for me, but probably Knicks. They've just played so well lately, winning 13 in a row. It's hard not to choose them. Indiana and Atlanta.
I'd take the Pacers.
I'd absolutely take the Pacers as well. I actually really like the Pacers this year. I think they actually have a good, legitimate shot moving on to the Eastern Conference Final. So then we got Brooklyn, Chicago.
If Derrick Rose is back, I'm taking Chicago.
And I'm thinking the same thing, and I'm thinking he's back. I did see something this week where he did take a dunk off his left foot and then turn. I think that made a big deal. So we're going to see how it goes. And that's the first round. Who do you like out of the East, assuming Derrick Rose is healthy? All in all, Miami's pretty much the team.
I'm not straying from Miami. No, I'd take them all the way.
Okay, so moving on to the West very quickly, we got San Antonio versus LA Lakers. It could be LA Lakers, it could be Utah, depending on how the finals go out. I think right now the Lakers are down heavily in their game, so I don't know how that's going to play out. But let's say it's the Lakers versus San Antonio. Who do you got there?
San Antonio.
Oklahoma City, Houston.
Oklahoma City.
Golden State, Denver. LA Clippers, Memphis.
I like Memphis.
I'll take the Clippers against Dunk City. All right, so it goes down to San Antonio and Clippers or Memphis.
San Antonio.
And then you got Oklahoma City, Denver.
Oklahoma City.
So then you got the Battle of the Titans. You got San Antonio versus Oklahoma City.
I'm going to go with the youth in this one and take Oklahoma City.
All right. And I will take the Spurs. I'm going to take the Spurs. And then they're going to go on to the final, and they're going to play Miami.
Miami all the way. It has to be a catastrophe for them to lose this. Wade's going to sit the rest of the season, but it looks like just to get healthy. They're going to lose Dwayne Wade just because they're coasted. I'm going to go
in the left field. I'm going to say San Antonio wins.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I think Miami should win, but hell, I have to pick something different. You always pick Miami. You always pick the favorites. You're always like, hey, I want to pick the favorites here.
It's the NBA.
Yeah, you cheer for the favorites.
Easy to pick. This is easy in this league. The first round, at least, the width of favorites.
The 4 or 5 matches is always a little bit more difficult, but past that, it's pretty much easy.
Yeah, it's the least amount of parity of the big leagues.
No, it'd be interesting if Derrick Rose does come back. That would be the one caveat where maybe it's a little bit different because he does bring a dynamic to the Bulls, who are a very good playoff-style basketball team because they do play great defense. That could make them very troublesome for a lot of teams in the East.
It's tough though too. You can go back and forth on this, but at the same time, you had a guy like Derrick Rose this late in the season. That team's played without him, and they're doing well.
Yeah.
He may wreck the whole chemistry they have anyway.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. It may be, but I don't see that happening. So, anyways, guys, that's sort of a wrap up of the NBA basketball in general. Before the playoffs start, I will do sort of an overview of what matchups I like and who I like in each matchup. But like Ryan said, the first round normally is pretty easy to predict. But maybe we got some surprises in the second round or so when we get there. At that point, too, we'll know if Derrick Rose is back and what that means for Chicago. So
exactly. Lots
of good things on our website right now in terms of basketball. There's stuff on Wiggins. We'll definitely be promoting him more. TSN is airing, which is in Canada, and ESPN has it as well. Jordan Brand Classic this weekend, I think at 1 o'clock on Sunday, where Wiggins is, and I think Tyler Ennis as well, playing in that game, highlighting the best players in the American high school coaches. P. Stella?
That's it.
Hong Kong?